Today, we're going to go over where to find information around how your VA disability compensation affects real estate property taxes. No matter if you use the VA home loan or not, or simply just getting your VA disability for the first time and you want to see what those benefits look like. In general, service members need to meet a certain VA disability rating and character of discharge to meet the state's requirements to either completely waive property taxes or pay a reduced property tax bill. Not only that, a spouse, in the event the service member passes away, those benefits can be extended to a surviving spouse. Now, this is what's important. It depends, again, on the state and or the county requirements. So please do your research ahead of time because too often people will start that research process like after a tragic event has happened, and it just leads to a lot of frustration. The other part to this is that typically you only need to be on the title of the property, not your mortgage. I think that's where a lot of confusion happens when people are like, well, I didn't use my VA loan, so how can I use my VA disability exemption? It actually doesn't make a difference. You just need to be on the title, which is the deed of the property. Your name has to be on there, okay? And it needs to be your primary residence, because once you move out of that property, then you lose your tax exemption, any tax exemption that you had. What I want you guys to note with that is that you do have to go to the county and file that you've moved out of the property. It's not your primary residence, and then the tax bill is going to kick back in. That is going to change based on where you buy in the country. And I'm not going to get into crazy detail, but just so you know, taxes that are paid current and taxes that are paid in arrears. If you're in a state that pays taxes current, so in 2024, you're paying 2024 taxes, then the exemption will kick in almost immediately, or it's going to be removed almost immediately. If you're in a state that pays taxes in arrears, so like for example, Illinois is like that, in 2024, you're actually paying 2023 taxes. So then it takes a while for it to catch up, which can be both positive and negative, because if you buy a new property, you want to transfer that tax exemption to the next property. In some states, you could do it right away, like Texas is one of them, if you're 100% permanent in total. But otherwise, you're going to have to wait, potentially pay taxes for a year or two before that happens. And people don't like that. So now let's go over where you can find information on your benefits. So this is the cool part. So the VA actually compiled for each state where you can go and find the VA benefits. Okay, so they have the website and the phone number. But we're also going to explore some other ways that you can search for this information using the World Wide Web. And it's important to note that because some of the websites will have information on VA disability. And also remember, some states do not offer any type of benefit for disabled veterans. So if you're thinking about moving to a certain area, or if the property tax and your VA disability is a big factor for you and your decision, then you definitely need to do that research ahead of time so you know what you really need to understand about the state that you're moving to. Same thing with like retirement. Do they tax that or not? Obviously, like Florida doesn't have any income tax, so a lot of veterans move there. But anyways, they have all of this listed here, and it's all clickable. It will also be in the description below. So let's take a look at one of these sites. I just picked a random one in North Carolina. I do like North Carolina a lot. So they will have a couple things listed here that you either like employment services. So this one doesn't really necessarily have a lot of information. Let's take a look at here, right? We're looking at benefits and claims, housing assistance if you need it. Let me see if they have one. Veteran homes. So sometimes they'll actually have special programs for veterans that are looking or seeking housing from the state. They'll be able to provide that. So this is basically exactly what that provides. And they'll also have any other type of benefits that they have. And take a look right here. They're going to have veteran property tax relief. So this is going to basically break down for North Carolina what those requirements are. So in this state, right, you're going to see that if owned by a veteran must either have one, a permanent and total service connected of 100%, or receive benefits for specially adapted housing, right? Or if owned by a surviving spouse. This is, again, why it's so important to know this information as well. The other part also kind of stipulates if a spouse is on the title of a property or a co-borrower. That's another important thing that actually we're going to do a whole separate video on, is that should you put your spouse on your VA home loan? Because if they are on the title of a property, then they actually, so if they're on the title of a property, they don't have your VA home loan, right? You may pass away and that VA home loan may not pass down to your spouse. But if they're actually on the mortgage of the property, it's actually a lot better that they are on the mortgage, because then that mortgage will transfer to them. And then if they are not eligible afterwards, it doesn't make a difference because they already have the home and both of you guys are on title. So the property just transfers to the surviving spouse and they can keep the current mortgage. The challenge comes up is when they don't do this piece, and then veteran passes away, and then now they're trying to get the VA home loan. They can't. They got to refinance at market rates. They don't have enough income because they lost income, and now they have to sell the home and move in with the grandkid, with the kids. We actually see it happens more often than not. But let me show you guys some other examples as well. So like that's one way to do it when you actually go through this through these benefits. The other thing that you can do is you can just go straight to a search engine and look up the county that you want to buy in, right? So if I put Cook County, Illinois, veteran disabled tax exemption, it'll pop up right here, and then I'll be able to click on it, right? So it'll take me right to I want you to note, right? It'll take me right to the county's website to determine exactly what those exemptions are. Okay, so you'll see there's a lot of information that's on here, and it really depends on what disability rating that you have, how to apply for missed property tax exemptions, eligibility requirements, right? So all of that's going to be listed on here. And in Illinois, if you have a 30% rating or higher, you get a certain $2,500 off the estimated value of your property. And it shows you right down below, 50 to 69, you get $5,000 off the value of the property, not the property taxes. This is why it's important to read this in its entirety. And if you have what makes Illinois unique is that if you have a 70% or higher disability rating, then you don't pay property taxes up to $250,000 as the value. But there's a caveat to that, right? This is why you got to know both the state and the county requirements, because for the state, they say, hey, $250,000, you don't pay property taxes. So then I'll give you two examples in Cook County and Lake County. So Cook County, Illinois, is only going, if your value is more than $250,000, let's say it's $300,000, they actually give you you pay taxes on the $50,000, which is a great deal. But if you go to Lake County, then if your property is worth more than $250,000, you just don't qualify for any property tax breaks. So that's why, in combination of looking at properties, you're also searching what the estimated value of the property is for tax purposes, okay? It's very important to understand that. And again, every county is going to have it different, right? Some of them may have an assessed value of $1 million and 5 acres. Some may just have unrestricted as long as you meet the VA disability requirement for that state. Do your research, understand how it works so you can position yourself better, or in a way that when you're actually going through that home buying process, you're not thinking, hey, I'm going to get the exemption and I don't get it. Please, guys, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys soon.